about tying quilled flies. It's probably the hardest thing you're going to be doing ever in fly tying is to get them to sit perfectly flat, square on top of the hook shank. There's no shortcuts and there's no quick answers. The thing is practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the easier they become. Think about tying 18 an hour to make a buck. That's about it. So we're going to start right up here at the shank, one eye length back, the width of the eye back on the shank. I'm going to run this down touch and turns. This is a fly that, if I had to pick a fly for the one fly, it would be this fly.
That's what you said about the last one.
No, I don't. I wouldn't fish that in the one fly. It's too small. These are in the. This is moose mane.
Oh, for God's sake.
You don't need a lot of this. All you need is about 3/4 strands tied in as a tail. Okay, so I got a little too much there, so let's get rid of some.
Why moose instead of like deer? Does it make a difference?
Moose mane isn't as hollow, like deer hair is hollow. It tends to break. If it was tied in for a tail, after a while it would just fold up and fall off. Moose mane's really rugged. I actually tie bodies on flies using moose mane, a light and a dark together. And I got about 3/4 here. Length, a little over the length of the shank of the hook. March browns have pretty good tails, so we'll lay that right on top, like so. Now once you get it there, if it's on top of the shank, you can kind of adjust the length a little. That's better. Take it off. Don't need it. For ribbing on this fly, I used to use brown wire. I never liked it. I went to this flat wax nylon, which I really like. It's easy to work with. It's cheaper than wire. So, got that here. We're going to tie that on next. So we're going to down the shank of the hook. Going to run it right back up, right back down. I got it on the near side of the hook towards me. That's important. Let me get the rest of the stuff out. The body on this, we're going to use hare's ear dubbing again. Hare's ear dubbing is kind of a nice tan color, tan brown color. It's going to work really well. So here's how I want you to dub this fly. Most people make dubbing bodies the size of a pencil. They're not. So you come up here now and we're just going to touch a little dubbing. So little it's going to be scary. Just a little. Now before I do anything else, this body. Right here. At about what? 1.5 inches. I'm going to spin my bobbin clockwise. That's going to tighten up that noodle. You're going to come up around.
Now what if you went counterclockwise?
It would untwist the thread.
Damn it.
Yeah, so you should always go clockwise. Send it. See, I should have broke my thread, Kevin, but I didn't. See that? That's luck. That's shit luck. That's all that is, man. I'm just going to build this body up a little more here.
It's a pretty fat body.
It won't be in a minute, I'll show you.
You're gonna do that little
See that?
smoky thing.
I knew how tight the dubbing was.
When do you use the dubbing loop? I mean, when you're going to put on a lot of dubbing or what?
No. Do I want to get into a dubbing loop?
Do you ever use a dubbing loop is the question.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. 90% of the dub nymphs I tie, I use loops because I card dub. You know what card dubbing is?
No.
Mark? In the old days, we used to have dubbing. If you were tying commercially, I could not tie this fly and make any money if I sat there dubbing this stuff on. So you have a block of wood about this long, has 2 nails in each end. And on the end is a wire crank that you make. You make a loop of thread. You put dubbing on it, you crank it up, makes dubbing loops. You card it onto a index card.
And then you just tie them in?
Then you just tie
Yeah,
it in.
and you're ready to go. So
Right.
it saves
So
you.
you're pre-dub.
Yeah,
dubbing.
so you can make a lot of dubbing all at once. So we're gonna run this up, right up here. That's,
But you're not doing it on the vise, you're doing it on.
Right, you're just tying as
we're
much
gonna
as you
rib
need.
this now with that flat wax nylon. I should get 5 or 6 turns on it. Make a real segmented body on this March Brown. Ain't too bad. With a little practice, I'll get good at this. All right, and we're gonna take that out of there, that flat wax nylon. And you can see the segmentations in the body. Now we need hackle. Any brown speckled hackle would do. This is hen saddle. I think I got this one at Mike's too. I don't know. Sometimes I pick these things up at shows for a few bucks. Take the fluffies off. You don't want that in your way. You don't want anything to be in your way. We're going to tie this in exactly the same way as I did the last one. I'm going to preen my hackle back. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to cut a little triangle. We're going to tie that right in. I'm going to do 2 turns, maybe 3. See how that's tied in? Grab a hold of that stem.
So you got concave side down, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Pull back on the hackle fibers. That's called folding the hackle. You're gonna make 1 turn up. That's 1. Keep it going back though. Keep stroking those hackle fibers back. And we'll do 1 more turn. Like
Are those turns in front of each other or behind each other?
in front. Always in front.
You always,
Always. So I get 1. Coming up here now, gonna pull back on it, and I should be right up in front again. When I finish this turn, I'll tie it off.
So you're pretty close to the eye there.
Yeah, I got about the width of the eye back. That's all you really need for the head and to tie the wings on. Any more than that, you're kind of just extending the head out. All right. Make it look right. We need to quilt wings. I'm going to use turkey. These are pretty good sized flies, so we can use native turkey. If you know anybody that hunts turkey, have them save the wing feathers for you. As soon as I figure out which is which. Yeah.
You're looking for a matched pair of feathers.
I am. I'm kind of trying to find the consistency I want in the colors too. That's kind of important to make sure you got your feathers looking the same. I mean, you could have, if I really was cheap and I really wanted to pull this off quickly, I could take a slip from this side and a slip from this side. But this side is not the same color as this side. It would make a fine fly, but it would not be, in my mind, right. All right, so I got this side. That's what I'm going to work with, I guess, right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come up here Actually, I'll put a half hitch or two in this. And let that sit. This is a good way to get your wing measurement, is to come in here. You got your hook. You want the wings to be the width of the gap of the hook. Push it through.
The gap of the hook.
Yeah. Take it apart. That's the width you want your wings, right there. And it's just kind of an easy way to do it, measure it. Do I do that? I ain't got time. Now I need another slip.
You're such a nonconformist.
I know. After you do this 50 years, it's easy to be a nonconformist. Mark can tell you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even fish the same as most people. All right, I got my two slips. There's a shiny side and a dull side. I want the dull side facing out.
Facing out.
They're gonna be the ones that I want showing. Get them lined up, two together. Push them down. You want the wing to be a little into the tail. Just about halfway on this fly. So I'm going to transfer my hands. I'm going to get a measurement first. My measurement. I'm going to switch hands. I'm going to push this right here. Using the pinch loop, I'm going to come up, but not pull it until I get straight up. Nail it down right here. That's good.
And now,
And that is March Brown for the Deerfield River.
You like that, huh?
I do. If I fished the Deerfield, I'd probably fish in March Brown. And it doesn't matter when you fish it. You can fish it in the spring, early summer, late summer. I've actually taken trout in the fall.
It's an insect that's in the river.
It's in the river. So let's put a little lacquer on this fly, on the head. One day I was tying up at Walter's Spay Day up in, I don't know this area, Zor.
Zor picnic
Yeah,
area.
yeah. And I tied these all day and I was handing them out. They're like going like hotcakes.
So how do you fish it?
Floating line, just like I would any other wet.
Yep. Swing?
Yeah, you can swing them. Now, you know, I don't swing a lot of flies. A lot of people do. I tried to talk Sean into not swinging flies. I use the square method most of the time. Straight across, dead drift, stop. Straight across, dead drift, straight across. Or I fish upstream like a dry fly, which drives Bob Anderson totally nuts.
Do you strip it upstream?
No, I just cast upstream,
So,
let it float down.
so it's bubbling.
Yeah, watch for the shadow, set the hook. But that's how I fish them. You don't have, you can swing them. So let's tie this fly. This is a fun fly. You guys should tie 2 of these. Come on.